beautiful people. I'm Victoria, your host, and this is Nostalgia Podcast, where music and storytelling meet. Guests come into the show with 5 of their most nostalgic tracks, and we dive into the nostalgia and everything in between. On this episode today, we have ScottyInside. Welcome to the show.
Yes, people. What's going on?
Yo, I'm really excited for this one, man. I really, really am.
Yeah, I've been excited as well. I've listened to loads of your episodes, and I have to give you your flowers first, because running a podcast is hard, man, and getting to so many episodes like you've done and keeping it fresh every time. No, respect.
I appreciate
you have to
man.
Give yourself some flowers sometimes, you know.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it, man. So yeah. So you hail from South West London, and you're a DJ, you're a MC and a host, and you're also the founder of Always Inside.
Busy man.
Busy man. You began DJing in 2018, just messing around with friends, and now you have quickly become a name in various music scenes in London. And he officially launched his brand Always Inside in 2022, which gives the platform to up-and-coming DJs as well. And he's also shared the stage with legends like MCDT and Manga Saint. Oh, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. Hello?
That's it.
There
Correct.
we go.
There we go.
Yo, you've been doing bits, you know. I've been seeing you online. I'm just like, what? I have to get you on.
Yeah, I'm trying.
To get you on. Man.
I've been trying, man. It's a tough game, but yeah, we're loving it at the same time. It's good.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to dive into your stories, your journey, and just everything in between, man.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do this. But before we drop into the music, the questions, how hard or how easy was it for you to choose those 5 songs?
It was really easy, and then I started questioning them, and then it became hard, and then I changed them a couple of times, and I thought, no, I'm gonna go with the original, because why else would they come into my mind if they weren't the 5? You know?
Yeah.
I could have swapped them in for like a different tune of the same genre or something like that, but these are the songs that came to mind straight away. They're a bit different. 2 you might not expect from myself, and I've deliberately not put any grime in there. So I love grime. I was grew up on it kind of, and then started DJing grime, but I chose not to include it because otherwise it'd be all grime tracks. It would be like 5 grime tracks. So I chose not to put any in there.
Yeah.
And I would just have that as like an overall honourable mention.
Yeah. No, I love the mix of genres that you gave us as well. It's very much to the sound that you kind of stick to and you gravitate to, but I love the little bit of the extras of you in it. So
yeah, exactly. It's not just me now. It is me from the whole period that I've been listening to music, basically, and what I have enjoyed previously.
Amazing. I love that. So let's dive into your first song.
Big tune.
Yo, because when I saw the title, I was like, do I know this song?
No, this is a big tune. This is a big tune.
Absolutely tune. Why this one's going?
So this one, I was thinking about trying to put on a song that I first remembered I liked, and this was the first one I remember. I've just got a really vivid memory of listening to this on the radio in my mum's car. She used to have a red Honda, and she used to drive it everywhere, obviously. But for some reason, this song used to be on the radio all the time. And I feel like it was the first time I ever took notice of the fact I liked a song. I don't know what it is about it. I just feel like I put this one first because, first and foremost, music's supposed to make you feel good. And just good vibes, good energy. And outside of DJing, that's what I loved about music first. So I came into DJing quite late. after I liked music. I like lots of different genres of music, but only songs that made me feel good or happy, or I could dance a silly dance to it, that kind of stuff. During lockdown, I did a series of stories called Cup of Vibes. And I used to just put on like a song like this and dance around in my kitchen, making a cup of tea. I'd throw the tea bag into the cup, do a little celebration dance, and then end it. And I got quite a lot of people messaging me saying they like it. And this was one of the songs that I first did it to. So it just reminds me of that time as well, where you can be silly and goofy to music as well, because you resonate with it so much.
Yeah.
And I just enjoy listening to good music. First and foremost, before I'm in the dance, before I'm DJing, before I'm out having a good time, that's what it's about.
100%.
Good music.
100%. And I love the fact that, like you said, when you're growing up, you're in the car, because you're not in control of the music when you're young, in that age.
Exactly. And I must have been like under 10 as well. So you don't really have an opinion on music at that time, really. So unless your parents are putting you on super early, or you are listening to, like, I don't know, Taylor Swift, it would be now, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at that time, where you had the Spice Girls or someone like that, Avril Lavigne, big shout.
Big
That's
shout
who I
out.
loved. You know, that was my first crush, Avril Lavigne. You know what? I'm gonna expose myself. I actually wrote her a letter when I was younger, but she didn't write me back. Rude.
How could she?
You know what I mean?
It's all right. It's all right. You wrote it though. You pulled your heart out.
I did. I must have been like 6.
Oh, lovely, man. But now I love the fact that that song just stuck with you. And like you said, it was that opinion that you said, oh my gosh, like I actually like this song. Like it's not just music and stuff that I'm hearing on the radio. It's something that I actually enjoy.
100%. And maybe at that time I didn't understand why. But, you know, things resonate with you.
Definitely.
And you don't always need to know why at that time.
Exactly.
You can always find out after. But it's a song that is in a playlist that I've got that I always refer back to, of just good vibes.
Yeah,
you know? I think that's what music's about.
100%. I love the fact that you continue those good vibes and took it to like Instagram and did the whole little dance.
Yeah.
And took the cover. Like I love that. I absolutely love that. And yeah, it's good to just share those good vibes and that good energy around.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to like be silly or goofy in a dance either.
Yeah.
So if you feel a type of way when you want to dance, why not, man?
Why not? You got to just share the energy, man. You just got to share the energy.
100%.
100. But yeah, you started DJing in 2018, and like just tell us a little bit more about that when you started.
Yeah, I didn't really have like a hobby at the time. You know, as you get older, you fall out of things that you've been doing. You start work. Like I didn't go to uni. I just went straight into work. So I became very busy in that sense. Like it was very structured, 9 to 5, or I was doing shift times at that time. So it might have been till 7 or till 10 or something. So I didn't have like a routine where I could fit in a regular hobby. And then some of my friends that didn't go to uni or just had a gap year or something, or were working, were in the studio, and I just shouted them one time. I was like, oh, like let me come through next time, like just to chill, because I hadn't really seen that crowd for a little while. So I went, and from that day I was like, this is sick, this is cool. My earliest memory of wanting to be a DJ was actually in Iron Appa.
Okay.
And I was just out, and one of the DJs was just so hard. I was like, that is sick. And I don't think I've ever spoke about that. But I went to Iron Appa, I don't know, 2017, something like that. And I was just out, and I can picture his face. I don't know who he is, but I can just picture watching him. And I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
And I was like, and the crowd reaction he was getting, it wasn't just a normal like party island club. It was sick. And I was like, yeah, this is cold. So if I ever get a chance to do that, I would. Went back home, forgot about it. Then this opportunity arose, so I thought, yeah, why not? I'll give it a try.
Amazing. You guys were just like playing around, and you just kind of just picked it up as a hobby and just started.
Well, actually, I started MCing over grime and garage first.
Yeah.
So I started writing bars and then just having fun with it. Our friends used to just freestyle for a laugh, go off each other. And then one day I was like, oh, let me jump on, like, show me how to do this. And then I started enjoying that more than MCing.
Right.
So that's where the MC turns into a host, because when you're DJing, you can host. Or I would host for other people and enjoy that crowd control element as well. And then it progressed to more DJ bookings, and then I would class myself more as a DJ now rather than an MC or a host.
Right.
But I can still do everything. I'm a triple threat, you know.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
book me in the dance, I'll turn it upside down. Don't worry.
Listen. I think that's when I remember seeing you in like Brixton Hootenanny.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
you were just on the stage, you were vibes, you were hyping up the crowd, like you were doing the most. Like I was like energy.
Yeah.
Pure energy.
I've done a lot of Brixton, Phonox, Brixton Jam, Prince of Wales, Hootenanny,
Nice.
all that kind of stuff. Like I started Brixton, sort of Queen of Hoxton as well. I used to do a lot there with my boy Halfport, so I used to host for him when he had a regular monthly slot. And then I kind of just went around with my friends and we hosted for them for free, just for the love of it, really, liking it and helping them out. You know, if the crowd wasn't it and they needed a bit of hype, sometimes the crowds are dead, and you need a mic controller to hype them up.
Trust me, I think a hype man is so important and so underrated. Like just to have someone to just get the people going, because sometimes you just need that little oomph of energy outside of just the music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And just to control them, like let them know there's a tune coming that's gonna pop off. So get ready. Or sometimes because so many technicals happen, like we just experienced. The mic man is so important to cover that, and I think unless you are experienced and you can, when it goes dead, you can still carry the hype.
100.
You're not successful, really. Like you have to be that middleman between the crowd and the DJ. So when they get in trouble or the music cuts or someone steps on the power lead, I've had it before and it cuts.
Right.
And then they quickly reload it, but the song's taking long to load up. You have to be the guy to carry that. So you learn quite quickly when you're in the deep end like that the crowd are also unforgiving. So you have to make them believe that you are the guy. For them to follow you. Somebody said to me really early on, like, walk into a room as if you're supposed to be there and act like you are the guy, and people will respect you enough to believe that.
100.
And if they don't believe you, you haven't won them. So I was like, you know what, that makes sense. And I was really nervous at this particular point going to a studio to do a set. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, that was the perfect advice, because I carried the set.
100.
It was calm.
Sick.
Come out with the same attitude ever since, really.
Amazing. And I love the progression from you like saying, all right, let me kind of look for a hobby, kind of like playing around with DJing. You've like first you were MCing, then you kind of graduated to the DJ. I love how you carry those skills with you from the MCing to kind of graduate to DJ from the host. So you know it from all kind of angles. Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly. You know how to put the performance together, which I think is the most important part. I think some people are just like selectors and they can put a playlist together. But if you're on a big stage, big crowd, people want a performance, right? So you understand that elephant? Wow. That element of performance to really like bring everything together.
Yeah, for real. I love that, man. I love that. But yeah, I ask like everyone this, all my guests this. Like, when was that spark? When was that moment where you were like, you know what? This is a career. Like, I can take this seriously. I'm going to do this. I'm going to run with this.
So there's a tune I'm going to play that story's about.
Okay.
So I don't know whether I should hold that story.
Maybe hold it.
I'll hold it, but that's coming. But there was a certain point where I played a set and I just thought, yeah, I can do this.
Mad.
So I was kind of going around with people. I wasn't really getting my own bookings, but people knew me through that. And then I started to get a few bookings. I was quite nervous. And then I played one set and I thought, nah, I can do this. This is calm.
Yeah.
You know, because you find your confidence in that and you find what you like playing. When I book people to play for myself now, I always tell them, play what you want, because you are the best when you play what you want. Anyone can get a brief and they can play a certain genre, but it might be way out of your reach of what you've done before.
Yeah.
So you might not be able to play properly, you might not know the timings, that kind of stuff. So I always say, play what you want to play what you like, because you already know the timings, you know how they should blend together, and you have the most fun playing that. So at that time, I was lucky enough to play what I wanted and play what I liked, and I got a very good reaction, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
The rest is history.
Exactly, yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, I'll talk about that when the song comes. I'll give you the full story.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go on to your next song. It is Undercover Minth by Two Door Cinema Club. Let's give this one a listen. I hope I'm pronouncing things wrong. You know me and my dyslexia, guys.
That's calm. I'm the same. Don't worry about it.
basement people to the basement. Many surprises await you in the basement people, in the basement. You heard that last time, you know we're gonna find you sick in the car seat, cause you're not up to going out on the main streets, completing your mission. You heard that last time, you know we're gonna find you sick in the car seat, cause you're not up to going out on the main streets, completing your mission.
Scotty, why this one, man?
See, this one was really when I started to find my own taste in music. So at the time, I was a skater and I went through like a bit of an indie phase. I had swoopy hair,
Yeah.
it was super long. And at the time, me and my boy Bill, I kind of have a confession to make in the sense that Bill, I don't think I've ever told him, but Bill was the one that put me onto music in different genres at different times of my life and has always continued to do that. So I low-key believe that I am a DJ because of that.
Wow.
And there's other stories, including Bill as well, within this podcast, within the music. But he's been my best friend for, I don't know, over 10 years. So we've gone through the growth of ourselves and the music that we listen to. But at the time, this kind of indie genre was big. Two Door Cinema Club, Falls.
Yeah.
There was loads that we listened to. And this one song used to remind me of when we used to skate together. We used to actually ride scooters instead and skateboard as well. But that was our main thing. So there was lots of videos to this song that people put this as the soundtrack when they made edits, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was quite synonymous to me of that time. And it just brings me back to being in the skate park when I'm 13, no worries at all. Like I'd go there Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, come home at 9. Again, Sunday, like you spend your whole weekend there. After school, we're there. We're traveling up and down the country to different skate parks. Like, it just reminds me of that time so much.
Yeah.
And it just like fills me with joy because, like I said, there's no bills, there's no worries, like there's no commitments at that time. You're just young, doing what you love, having fun. And we met loads of different people across the country from it who are still friends now. So it's quite nice to listen back and just think of all their memories, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. What lovely memories to have.
Yeah,
man.
I know. So the first two are so humble, isn't it? Nothing about DJing, nothing.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I
humble.
love it. No, and big up your brethren, man.
Yeah, I
like
know.
putting you on, like that's lovely. I love how you guys grew together, not only just in the friendship, but with music.
Yeah,
and,
man.
Yeah.
So he put me
absolutely
onto
love
loads of stuff. Even when I first got my car,
Yeah.
I used to pick him up. And this was the time that Chip and Young'un were beefing,
that.
way back when. So we used to get in the car, wait for it to drop, wait for the disc to drop,
Yeah.
listen to it in the car, really loud. He used to put me onto people like Benny Banks, Cadet when he was
Yeah.
alive,
Yeah,
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I actually had the pleasure of meeting Cadet at a music event
Amazing.
with
Yeah.
Reebok and JD, and he was the nicest guy. But people like that, all these kind of SBTVs that I had never heard of.
Yeah.
Obviously, I knew what SBTV was,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the depth of artists they
Yeah.
have on there,
Crazy.
it was crazy. When Dave first dropped his Black Box, we listened to that together for the first
Yeah.
time. Then when he was on SBTV, all that kind of stuff, like the people that are big now, the early doors, he brought me into that, like
Mad.
unintentionally, because that's what he listened
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. But I love that. I love when people, especially like your good friends, just put you onto music and like open the doors and open your eyes to just all the stuff that are around there and out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like that's a good friend, man. That's like one of my love language. Share music with me.
100%,
Do you know what I mean?
man. Yeah, it's a love language before you even know what that is. Like,
Trust.
that's what friendships are built on, right? Like common interests. So if somebody can share music, I think it's powerful, man.
Yeah, and
That's what I love to do now.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm a DJ and I'm researching new stuff, like putting my friends onto stuff I think they would like, and they come back and say, "I definitely like this." I feel rewarded in that, you know.
And I feel like I know you. I properly know you because I know
feel
what
like
you're
I'm
gonna
human
like.
Shazam.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
what you're gonna like, so don't
Yeah.
worry about
I
it.
got you,
Like,
I got you.
let me just send you this song. I know you're gonna add it to your playlist.
Nah, I love that. I absolutely love that. And yeah, like the fact that you guys just grew up together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a humble one.
It's a humble
one.
one. I love that. I love that. And I guess like what just motivated you to launch Always Inside? Like you're DJing, you're kind of doing it, and now you're like, we want to launch a brand. You want to take it from just being a DJ to like a whole brand.
So to kind of like 2022, I had a love-hate relationship with DJing. It was mainly my fault in the sense that my playlists weren't organized. I was a bit all over the place in terms of that element, and I found it super hard to figure out what I was going to play. Therefore, the bookings weren't great. the amount of bookings drop off, and you can't get to a bit of a lull in that, and you don't really know what to do. But a lot of my other friends were coming to me for advice about management, or what they didn't, or it wasn't necessarily management, but what I think they should do, or that kind of stuff. And I'd actually started a couple events with a group of friends before, and we had done that successfully. We just couldn't manage to get any more over the line.
Right.
You know, we're all busy with our own lives, so it didn't necessarily work out in that sense. But I knew that was something I wanted to continue. And when I had this time to think about what I wanted to do, I actually spoke to one of my friends on the way to a festival, and he said maybe your love for DJing can be nurtured in a different way, but in the same area, in terms of like management, for example. And then a couple of my other friends I was chatting to, sort of end of 22, sort of Q4 or something like that. Q4, such a need. But I can't remember the exact time. But they were saying, oh, I've got problems with my management, or I'm getting paid late, that kind of stuff. So I'd give them advice, give them like T's and C's to put in, and then put in their invoices. And then someone was like, well, why don't you kind of like do this? So I thought, cool, you know what? So I worked together with my partner Sydney, big up Sydney, creative director of Always Inside, and we kind of like developed this idea and brought it to life basically in about a month. So I'd planned it for about 3 months, and when I really brought it to her, we basically went to a cafe down the road nearly every weekend and just knocked out these ideas, brought it to life, got a logo, registered the name, put it together, and then it was there.
Man.
You know, it's crazy how you can turn ideas into something. And then from that, I started managing a DJ called DJ Kwan, who came on very early, as well as Sydney and myself. And then I launched, officially launched in November 22, sorry. But then we did our launch party in March 23. So I was supposed to do it that year, 22, but it got postponed to March. So that actually gave me enough time to build up a bit of a following for it in that time. And then there was people I met along the way that wanted to play for me originally, so I just moved that lineup across. And then from the first party I did, the next day I got offers from 2 other venues, Box Park and Prince of Peckham, to do more throughout the year. And from that, it slowly even exploded from that, from management to now events to now managing 8 DJs that are part of our collective. And then also doing so many community bookings, type events, that kind of stuff. That it's kind of got not out of hand, but it's kind of exploded from what I thought it would have been originally, which is nice because I can see how many lanes that it can go down. And it's proof that you don't have to just pick a niche and do that. As much as it's hard because you are juggling all these hats and you have to do so many things, it's nice to be able to take a break from one element, work on another one, and do that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a snowball effect. When you guys are talking from a calf to you guys like managing a whole DJs, from doing events, like getting offerings, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
really surprising to me how many people wanted to work with me, but I think I'm quite an organic person. So when I meet you, my intentions are organic, they're pure. I am bigging you up for the sake of bigging you up, not to get on your radar or anything. So I feel quite grateful that those organic connections did come round sort of full circle, and people have helped me out. People want to play. I'm surprised so many people want to play for me. Like, I'm not a big event. I haven't done big stages, but we do cool stuff. And the way I build lineups is with new DJs and experienced DJs to give people opportunities. And I know how to build a party. Like, I know how to build a vibe. So people want to come. They come back. And I put people on that I see there all the time, like active members of our community. I'm very passionate about putting on, giving them chances, that kind of stuff.
No, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. That's the energy that you're giving out as well. Do you know what I mean? That energy is unique to Always 100%. Inside.
And I wanna feel it back from you. If you want to work with me, I want to feel that. I can sniff somebody out that just wants a set. And that's fine. Like, you have to do what you got to do, and to get bookings, I completely understand that. I've been there. But if you actually want to work and grow, I will do that with you if your intentions are pure. You know what I mean?
No, 100%, 100%. And I guess you touched on it a little bit because you mentioned, you know, you have upcoming DJs and also like very, like, you know, very tailored DJs and been in the industry for a while, experienced, I would say. I guess what's that mission? What's the mission of you kind of like working for Always Inside? What is that mission statement?
So to start with, I had like 3 pillars. One was, the first one is together we're always inside. And that was a a motto I said on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
I said to Sydney, I don't know how, but I'm going to weave that in somehow, and I'll come on to that. The second we had you build the playlist, we'll do the business. So
Nice.
in terms of all I need the DJs to do is just focus on being the DJ. I don't need
Mhm.
you to know everything about it, because that's what I'm going to take on. You know, being a DJ, you have to be a graphic designer, you have to be a promoter, you have to be your own manager, you have to do bookkeeping, you have to do all of that admin that comes with it, and then sort out your own playlist, you know,
Trust.
before you even become the DJ, and practice and do all of that kind of stuff, get content now. So I make sure that we provide all of that, and you just build your playlist, make sure it's correct for when you turn up. And then thirdly, just breaking down doors that you didn't think would be there. So I saw sort of before COVID and then continuation after COVID, the same people and the same lineups all the time. And to the point where I could hear the same sets and I knew the transitions that were coming.
Oh wow.
And that's not because I'm chilling with my friends so much that I can hear it. These are people that I don't meet outside of the dance, that I've gone to 3 of their sets in a month and they've actually played the same set.
Okay.
Maybe 1 or 2 variations, but it's the same. So I thought, if I ever get a chance and be put in a position, I want to be able to put on new people, which is why we're doing so many communities tailored events and giving out so many opportunities to be able to put new people on, because after COVID there was such an influx in DJs that I believe there is room for everybody, but
100.
there is a lot of gatekeeping, which I understand why there is in some elements. But if I can give somebody an opportunity that I know are going to be grateful, why not? Like, why not?
No, that's amazing. I love how you taking some of the pressure off the DJs. Like you said, there's a lot of
Yeah.
admin. Like I didn't even know about
Yeah.
all the admin, the bookwork, your invoice, your this,
But
that,
even
your
for
content.
the events, even for the events, like I knew how involved it was, but running your own one is different. And I wanted to be the guy to have the best event and book the biggest DJs. But actually, there's so many people that do that, and nobody champions new DJs. And I don't mean up and coming DJs, I mean brand new DJs, or bedroom DJs as they're called in some cases, or people that just don't get a lot of bookings. You know, like I said, there's so many people out there. If you're not in these spaces and you're not networking because you got a job, you got a real life, you might have a family that you can't go out and spend a weekend at a dance, you know. So I like to be able to give them opportunities and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I love that. I think that's so important and so amazing, and just giving that platform, that exposure, the experience. And I think what is really unique is that pressure's taken off. Like do what you love.
Exactly.
And I got everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of people are appreciative of that, and a lot of people have said that my brand is synonymous with a champion new DJ. So that's why I've taken that term. Like that was given to us, and I've been really happy about that, you know, because you do these things, and a lot of this community stuff, like I don't earn anything from it. All I get is gratification from helping people, and that's all I need. Some people don't agree with some of the stuff that I'm doing because it might not be fully set up like a normal event, but you know, you've got to take the free bookings where you can. You've got to take the free space where you can. I was given a space for free. I filled it with this opportunity. You know, sometimes the equipment's not right. Sometimes the event doesn't run quite as well as a normal nightclub event. But you know, you've got to it's the swings and roundabouts. You've got to take these things and build from it.
Yeah, just make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. But like, just tell me a bit more about the community events that you do, because you do monthly.
Yeah,
events
so last year we ran 6 events across the year, and I'm not even joking. Every week I had somebody either email or DM asking to play, and I felt a bit of pressure to be able to put them on. But at that time, I worked with sort of my residents of my events to build the event and build their name at the same time. So I formed a small collective and then grew that throughout the year of DJs that I liked and I thought would work well. At the beginning of this year, I was given an opportunity to run an open decks club or open decks night. So I've made the Always Inside Open Decks Club. I was going to keep it together, but I've kind of made it slightly separate in terms of like Instagram profiles and housing things in different places. But really, Always Inside have an open decks club that new DJs can register on a Google form to play monthly nights. But not only that, if you play on the monthly night, we provide content for you. So we'll film transitions and film your set, and we'll take photos for you to use for press shots. Because in my opinion, if you come and do an open decks and then go home, if there's nobody there, it's not a wasted set, but you haven't got anything out of it except practice. Some open decks only let you do 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I've been there. I've done an open deck set, for 15 minutes, but you've only done 3 tunes. You haven't got time to breathe. So always make sure it's either an hour, hour and a half, or 2 hours to give you like length to actually progress with your skills. Like I'm there with studio grade equipment to make sure that you have the best experience there. You have practice on this. Some people have only got bedroom equipment, which I started on as well. And I still don't have like premium equipment, because it's thousands of pounds.
Of course,
Sometimes you haven't got access to studios because they might be so far away. So you don't pay anything. You come, you play, you get content, and you throw that out. And we've got nearly 200 people signed up for that.
Wow.
So off the back of that, I've looked for more opportunities. So I've been working with Brixton Radio to fill some slots over the summer. I've worked with different nightclubs, different events, different brands to fill slots for open deck DJs and give them out to our active community. Anybody that's active within the page comes to our events that I know you, I'm more likely to put you on because I can see you there. I always give people a chance. So all I do is listen to sets. I rarely listen to like Spotify anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just rinsing new people's sets every time to understand who is hot that needs to be put on and who needs experience. If you're ready for something, I will put you onto a main night event. But if you need experience, I will also put you onto open decks. It's a safe space to mess up, and I'll be there to show you how. Like, I'm not a DJ teacher. I'm not the most experienced person, but I've got experience and I've got time. So I will be there and coach you if you need. I'll show you how to use the equipment, that kind of stuff. And if you get stuck or get in trouble or if you clang, doesn't matter because we're all there for the same reason. There's no judgment. And if we get, it's a small space, but if we get sort of 40, 50 people in, it's a vibe in there. And it encourages the DJs to play, and that's what I want. I want people to be encouraged because I've done sets before where I've come away and I've not felt good about it, and then you get sort of people requesting stuff all the time or saying that you didn't play what they wanted, but it's actually not up to them. Like if it's an event like that, it's for the DJ. So that's what we say. We don't take requests on that particular night. It's for the DJ to play what they want, to play what they prepared. I've even had somebody write their set list out in paper so they know what they're doing. Yeah. And I actually respected that because 100%. It's not. It's hard. Like building a set list for an hour is hard if you've never done it. I normally do my first 5 songs and then go off that. Basically. Yeah. I don't bother planning a whole set because I know I won't be able to stick to it. Yeah. So I just do my first 5 songs. This is a key. If anybody wants this, you can steal this. I plan my first 5 songs, make sure they blend correctly, and then I'll go off from there and see what the room is for you.
Yeah. I love the fact that you're giving back. I love that you've taken all the experience that you've done and all the kind of like everything that you've learned from your experiences, and you're just giving it back to those that are up and coming. They're doing their thing and they're giving them opportunities to be able to just play. Like you said, like not many people get the opportunity
100%.
to just play and
I
just
feel like
have to get that experience.
There was such a gap in this scene for that. I know a lot of people do open decks and they are starting to do way more now, which is amazing because we need more. But one open deck slot on a night is not doing much, because I know for a fact they're doing that so they don't have to pay that DJ. Because I run events and I understand how that works. Yeah. But doing these events does make me feel good. Like when I'm there, sometimes they feel long when have to travel all the way there after work and stuff like that. We do them on Wednesdays, so it's after work. I might be tired, but as soon as I get in there and I chat to these DJs and find out their experience, exactly, it's that new energy that I not lost, but as you grow into something, you become more comfortable in it. You don't have that genuine excitement for when you first start something. And I quite like feeding off that and getting that back. And that inspires me to push more, do more community things. And the more feedback I get and the more requests to play, the more opportunities I will look for them,
Amazing. And I love the fact that you can sort out their content as well, because content is not an easy thing.
No, it's hard. You got to be a content creator as a DJ now.
You got to do it all. Everyone's got to wear all the hats, haven't they?
Exactly.
Nah, I absolutely love that. But any plans for the future? Like, what is the future goals for Always Inside, for the community open decks that you're doing?
So I'm quite involved in lots of different lanes, like I said. So I would like Always Inside to be able to encompass sort of management of DJs, but sort of new DJs to give advice about invoices, how to conduct yourself in meetings, that kind of stuff. But also managing like a core set, like our residents, to make sure they've got good opportunities, that kind of stuff. People that have stuck with me for a little while. The events, like I love running events. They can be very stressful at times, but I kind of thrive off it. So I'd love to be able to put on big events, small events,
Nice.
events for the community, that kind of stuff. And then just sort of activations as well. We've done brand stuff before, so I've had people come to me with a budget and a request, and I can pull it together. I can pull
Amazing.
stuff together quite quickly,
Amazing.
just from contacts that I've got, experience that I've had, and I really enjoy that element as well. So I'd love to do more branded work and get Always Inside synonymous with that kind of scene. So you need something done, you come to me, I sort it out. I've got DJs, I've got camera people, I've got a whole content team, I've got locations, I've got people that can run the day. So if I'm not there, I've got a team that can run everything. So
Yeah.
I've kind of built that up in the business side, and then I'm quite hopeful that that can run itself, and then I can spend more time in the creative DJ side, you know,
Yeah.
and just to become more synonymous with new DJs, you know, to try and help as many new DJs as possible. We've got a big community event that we haven't launched yet,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say it now, August 17th,
Nice.
Camden, we're going to have a networking day for all of our open deck DJs and all of the friends of the brand, you know. So I've got some friends that are really famous. I've got some friends that are brand new. So I want to be able to bring them together in one place to network, speak to each other. It's not going to be like a formal panel. It's going to be really informal.
Yeah.
12 till 6 in Camden, open air gallery. Just to network, we're going to have open decks where people can bring their USBs, plug in and play, and kind of go back to back with new people, experience new sounds, sort of watch how they DJ, pick stuff up. And then from 6, we're going to have a party with the Always Inside residents and friends of the brand. So headlining, we're going to have Charismatic from Apartment Life, which is cool, my actual guy. So very excited to have him on the lineup. We've been trying to work a few things out with events before, but he's so booked and busy we didn't get a chance. But we're going to have them. We're going to have Bay Trip and Barham, who are part of Always Inside. We're going to have ZM1. We're going to have Nason, DJ AT, myself. We're going to have Ruse, that is an international member of Always Inside. So he lives in Dubai. He's come back to England now. So we're going to have all the Inside vibes basically there. And we're going to take the energy that we have from a nightclub into this little sort of gallery space that we've got, and we're going to have it kitted out with Always Inside logos, merch, freebies, that kind of stuff, discounts on earplugs from our friends at Redline. It's going to be super cool, man. So watch out for the flyers, come through. It's going to be a free event, and we just want to bring as many people together as possible to build their networks ultimately, you know.
Amazing. Listen, Scotty.
Yeah, so we forfeited the summer party event to be able to do this. This is taking a bit more work, and I'm quite pleased that I've got the time to be able to put this together. You know, I think there's not many like that. You can network at events, but a specific networking thing where I've told people, come bring your USB, you're going to meet loads of new people. Some people are really excited about it. So if it was me with like joy to be able to do that, you know.
Defo. That sounds amazing, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Please come through if you wanted to as well, because you'll be able to meet new people in the scene. It's not just going to be DJs, it's going to be events managers, it's going to be people that work within music, they're going to be people that don't know anything about music. So I want to bring all of these people together.
Yeah, August 17th, guys.
Yeah, August 17th.
Jeez, love this. Scotty, just blown away just by everything you just said.
I'm trying,
and
man.
what you're doing. Nah, it's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing work. Absolutely amazing work.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Loving it. Let's go on to your next track. Chase and Status, Time. Let's give this one a listen.
If you can find the time to give your love to me, I will wait for you. If that's all you need, if you can find the time, if ever you're free, just drop me a line and tell me where you'll be. I'll be right here. If you can find the time, just be sincere. If you can find the time, I'll wait for you. But if you can't find the time, then good be good. 'Cause I don't have the time, and I don't have the patience. Why do you take me for it? Why am I still waiting? 'Cause while you decide
stop. In these stop it. That was kind of stop. No, that's
Another
a
big tune.
Trust me. Why this one, Scotty?
So this one is where ScottyInside is getting his music taste that he plays now. So 2012, me and Bill went to our first ever festival. It was actually a scooter festival. So like I said, we used to go skate parks all the time. They did a scoot fest. I can't remember where it was, but they had Rudimental and Chase and Status headlining.
Nice.
Rudimental open, Chase and Status. And it was kind of as the sun was setting, and I remember this so clearly, this song coming on, the sun was setting, and everybody was just going crazy. And this was my first experience at like a festival or something. And I just thought, oh, this is sick.
Yeah.
This is sick. And Chase and Status beforehand were a favourite of mine, and to be able to see them live at such a young age really influenced my music from that point on. And this is kind of like soft D&B, jungle, like that Blind Faith album, that No Time, it varies so many genres within that one thing. That's why I love it. But it's still D&B, it's still sort of drums, that kind of stuff. Jungle, it encompasses all of that. So I felt that one album really tailored my music taste moving forward in all of them different lanes.
Yeah.
But seeing this live, they did near enough the whole album. Seeing it live was something different.
It must have blown you away,
Yeah, something
man.
different, yeah.
Oh, amazing. I love how particular songs could remind you of those moments where, like, at festivals, because like, hearing songs live, just different levels, man.
Yeah, I am dying
Different
to play this. So if somebody wants to book me for a festival, this will be on my lineup. But I need a festival where I can play this.
Yeah.
You know, and I need it at sunset. And I need Bill there and be like, look, this full circle moment.
100%.
Like, that would be so sick. I thought about this so many times. I said this to Sydney, like, I built a playlist and I'm ready. I just need the right booking. You know? Like, I've had festivals before. I played at Wireless. This is going to give you a bit of an idea of when we film, but I'm playing at Big Smoke later today in Crystal Palace. But I need sort of like a really dance, jungle, D&B heavy festival to be able to really get the appreciation from the crowd as well, you know.
100%.
Like, I know exactly how I'm going to mix it in, exactly how I'm going to play it, exactly what I'm going to mix out into, but I just need that time. It's cool time. If you're pardoning the pun, that wasn't on purpose.
I love that. No, that was smooth, man.
Also, the dub plate that they cut from this for Culture Clash, unbelievable. I wasn't at Culture Clash, and it was one of the biggest regrets of my whole life. That Chase and Status Rebel Sound team with Shy FX and David Rodigan, MC Rage, was crazy. I listen back to that all the time. It's my running soundtrack, but the dub plate they made out of this, that sent shots at BBK, ASAP, Stone Love, it was crazy. Like, the way they changed the lyrics to make them basically win the clash, I couldn't believe it. You know, this one for me is one of the hardest dubs that they had throughout that whole time.
Now, what a tune, man! What a tune!
It's a big tune.
It is such a big tune. I'm such a fan of like these chill kind of drum and bass tracks, and it has like those smooth vocals. Like,
Yeah,
it just,
man. These are
just a
easily
vibe.
listening. Like,
It
I think
really
they're easily
is.
listening. Liquid D&B with soulful type lyrics like that, really easy listening to if you're in the gym, if you're on the way somewhere,
100.
if you're just chilling out at home, if you're doing like a cleaning day at home,
100.
you know, on a Sunday, just bang this on, man.
Trust me.
Yeah,
Trust me. Nah.
Big tune.
Big tune, big tune, man. Big tune. But yeah, you describe yourself as like a funky, garage, like bass, multi-genre kind of DJ. Like, why all those different genres? Like, why did you kind of like filter into them?
Like I said, it's kind of this moment that pushed me into that lane.
Right.
And when I started DJing grime, garage and funky because that's what I liked to listen to. And I liked to listen to that in the rave. So I kind of picked that up because I already knew the songs.
Right.
And then bass came into it because I'm really heavy in like bass line and sort of like just bass in general, and that leads yourself into D&B, that kind of electronic sound. So even though that people don't know me for that, I'm a multi-genre DJ. That's what I like to play, and that's what I'm trying to get myself more into that lane
With you.
and become synonymous within that. You know, if you were somewhere like Bristol, Brighton, Manny, Liverpool, that's big up there, and you can become somebody quite quickly. Whereas down here, we don't have the appreciation for that sound. So I've just been to Outro Festival, big up Outro, big festival down here at the course that championed all of that kind of stuff, and I met some personal favourite DJs there that I didn't think I'd meet.
Yeah.
Just bowling around the festival. So
Mad.
I spoke to them, introduced myself. We're gonna get some things popping. There's some big
Amazing.
people at the minute, like Casanova. I have to big him up. He's doing his thing in sort of dance, electronic scene. That kind of scene I want to become more synonymous in. I've started producing. I've got some singles on the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
love
yeah, that kind of
this.
vibe. But like when I'm in a dance and I want to rave, like
Yeah.
I'm not there to be stush. I want to sing along. I want to skank. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I can skank to. Funky garage,
Yeah.
like any new school garage, bassline, D&B, that kind of stuff. That heavy like dance genre, you know.
Yeah. Just feel good. Like you said, those feel good.
Don't get me wrong.
vibes.
I'm singing along to R&B.
Yeah,
I'm
of
singing along
course.
to old school.
Yeah.
I play that a lot. You know, there's certain residencies that only want you to play that, like I said. So I can play that, and I listen to that in my headphones all the time. So
Right.
it's not as if it's not who I am or what I listen to. Just because I don't have it on here doesn't mean you don't listen to it or don't have an affinity to it, right? But if you booked me just as ScottyInside, that is what I'd want
That's
to
your
play.
lane,
If there's
yeah.
no brief, no guidelines, that's my lane.
Yeah.
And I can encompass all of that together in a set very well to make it palatable for everyone.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely. But it's like you say, and the advice that you've given to the DJs that, you know, are under your brand, you're saying like play what you want to play, and this is what
Yeah.
you like to play, isn't it?
I struggle to understand that to start with, like I play to the crowd, which first and foremost, a DJ does have to play to a crowd. Don't get me wrong. But you get to a point where your name gets out and you become somebody. So they book you for yourself. They don't book you for the fact you're a DJ and you can play R&B for an hour, pop music for an hour. You can play at bars, you can play at clubs, you can do events, that kind of stuff. You become that artist
Right.
in yourself. And I've seen some of my friends do that and become an artist just from DJing and then grow their brand from that. And then there's no question. You're just booked for who you are and what you want to play because they know you're going to mash up the dance, deliver. Yeah, so that's my goal as a personal goal within DJing, you know, to become that person, to be able to play what you want. I said to my friend before, like, creative direction over your life is key. And if you have creative direction over this, your passion is crazy. So my friend is a photographer, big up Raf, he took our photos very early on, and he has become very synonymous with the London scene, being big bookings at Printworks, Culture Clash, Phonox, not Culture Clash, sorry, City Splash, all of the Brockwell Park stuff. It's done stuff for Rinse. Really big DJ, photographer, artist photographer, but he's become a culture photographer, our culture photographer, you know. And he was saying that he's now got creative direction over what he can shoot, and he feels unbelievable when he's doing it. So I said that's the goal, you know.
100.
Creative direction over your life is the key.
Bars.
Yeah, bars. I told you. I told you I'm MC.
Bars.
Don't put an instrumental on because I'll start spitting.
Nah, I love that. And you mentioned a little bit about the scene, but like, how did the London DJ scene evolve when you kind of like first started? When you first started, how's it kind of evolved to like where it's
Yeah,
at now?
so when I guess when I first started going out, it was 2018, sort of that kind of summer, and my group linked up with another group in Pirate. We just knocked on the door. They were playing grime, and we started going out with them ever since. And it was very trap heavy when we used to go out because that's what the sound was at the time. Very trap heavy, Afro beats heavy as well. There was no Amapiano about. There was no sort of like garage wasn't the mainstream. You'd have a garage segment or you'd have a garage night.
Right.
It wouldn't be in every club. The dance music wasn't about like it was, and I always thought that was lacking, and I always played that and thought I didn't belong in this scene because this is what I like to play, you know. So I kind of doled my sound out of that to fit the scene I was in, which was like dancehall, trap, Afro beats, which nothing wrong with that, and like I do really enjoy playing that, but it just wasn't who I was at the beginning.
Right.
But it was very trap heavy, very dancehall heavy, Afro beats. So I wasn't going to like All Bar One or Simmons. Like we were going to proper dances.
Yeah.
But at that time it was sick. That was the vibe. You know, just because I wanted to play garage music doesn't mean I didn't enjoy those dances, those shibs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. No, vibe, man. Vibe. And I guess, like, what was that biggest challenge when you first kind of started out? You was really trying to break through to the industry. What were those really biggest challenges?
I'm still trying to break through now, you know. Like people ask me how I made it, and I'm like, made what?
You done really well
I'm
for
still
yourself,
here.
man.
But you know what it is? I struggled with imposter syndrome heavy when I first started. And that's where my friend said, walk into a room like you're supposed to be there and people will believe that.
100.
And I used to use that a lot. I used to have to always wear sunglasses, so I couldn't see people because reactions would throw me off. If I had a mix out of time, or if they just didn't like what I was playing, that would really bother me. Not in a personal way, but I'd be like, oh, they're not enjoying it. I have to change this quick and panic. But slowly you become more confident in yourself, in your selection. You get good feedback. You take the glasses off. You see what you're doing. Now I just head up all the time, seeing what they're doing to see if I'm doing it right. You know, but it's just imposter syndrome was something I really suffered with to start with. Kind of suffer now in some situations, but it's not that deep. You know, you become who you become because of who you are. So, like I said, those organic connections, the want to do it as well. You're not just doing it because you're a scene guy and you go to the same parties for the last 5 years, so you become synonymous with that, you know, and you're not really doing anything, but you're just there. You know, you're actively trying to do this, and people appreciate that. People see that. The more networking you do, the more people you know, the less uncomfortable you feel, you know, in these spaces. You know more people, you can talk to more people, and you can just feel more comfy in these spaces. So, you know, East London was where we used to go out a lot. We're from Southwest, so we used to travel all the way there. Loads of dances in Dalston, Hackney, you know, all that kind of stuff. Shoreditch, we used to go out in a lot. We used to go to Tottenham for different dances.
Right, everywhere, innit?
South. Yeah, we used to just go around for the vibes, you know.
I love it.
And then just a quick Uber home, or one of us would drive and not drink that night, and then just cut through. And we used to take it in turns, that kind of stuff. But we used to go where the good dances were. You know, they travelled. There wasn't so many at the time. There was some big ones, but there wasn't so many like there are now. I think the benefit of the influx of DJs is that there's also an influx of events that you can go to.
So
anywhere.
much is going on.
You don't have
it?
to leave South to go to a good dance. You don't have to leave East. You don't have to leave West.
No, you're right.
You don't have to leave North, because there's always a dance there. And then you become synonymous with your area, you know, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
people will travel. If you do a dance in East and then you do one in West, people will travel there now because they know it's going to be a good night. But now they don't have to, because there's also another dance that's
Trust
good,
me.
you know. So there's so much, like I said, there's room for everyone. So even if you've got 2 dances on the same night, we used to do 2 or 3 on the same night in the same area and just cut through. And when we started getting bookings in 2 or 3 places, that's what we used to do. Go somewhere early, go somewhere middle, go somewhere and end the night there, and do 2 or 3 performances. So by the end of the night, I was wrecked. You know,
can imagine.
I was hosting these times for my friends. Just for the love of it, we'd bowl around, you know. My friend used to use the phrase locally famous, like, because you kind of become somebody, you know, in that moment in time. You don't always hold that, you know, and new people come through, that kind of stuff. But you start to get a name, you start getting more bookings, people start listening to you when you're on the microphone, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. They start knowing your name and asking if you're going to be on the mic when I'm just standing there, that kind of stuff. So, or asking if I'm going to jump on, and asking what time our sets are, that kind of stuff. So you do these things for the fun, and then you find these opportunities. So that's probably a piece of advice I always give, like, people online fake what they're doing and make it look amazing, but as long as you're having fun doing it, don't worry about whatever bookings someone's getting. As long as you're having fun doing the bookings you're doing, you'll naturally grow. You know, it's progression. Definitely. You rarely bang straight away. You never do that. It
takes time, innit?
I mean, this mashup era you can do now, but
true.
But are you ready for that time? I've seen people that are blown and they're not ready. I've seen them play live and they're not.
And they're just not ready. Because they had that moment where you did a sick mashup, but then you can't actually sustain a crowd for like hours at a time.
I'll take it back to like Naughty's grime sets, If you're not in the den, if you're not in the igloo, if you're not in the dojo, if you're not at Kiss FM doing this, if you're not at Heat FM, you know, anything like that, like, you don't have that practice hours to be confident enough to do that, you know, and you don't have the time behind the wheel if you're driving, you know, that kind of stuff.
100.
I think practice hours isn't that be all and end all. Like, you can just go and be a good DJ straight off the bat, but if you don't have that experience for different things, you just don't. I just think sometimes you don't have it, you know, and you just need to readjust. I've had it before where I've taken time off, readjusted, come back, and you feel a better DJ, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, even though you don't feel like you're like the level that you want to be, Scotty, man, you're doing bits.
Yeah,
you're doing it, man.
It's because you're always looking at the next person, right? You're never looking at what you're doing. But
Truly.
I quite like doing the community stuff because people are very appreciative. So it brings me back down to a level where I think, you know what, I am doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing good stuff as well. I'm doing stuff for people and putting them on. So yeah, it's nice.
That's amazing in and of itself. But Scotty, on to your next tune. A classic, an absolute classic. My Love. 10 Below and Kele
Oh,
Rock.
big tune. Oh my days. Everybody like listens to Garage. Can I get an inside?
Let's get this one. Listen. Oh, such a tune.
You see that bit right there? Oh my days. That's when I start mixing it in as well.
Shower you with kisses. 'Cause you're my love.
Oi, shut up. What a banger this one.
I wanna shower you with kisses. 'Cause you're my love.
I ain't got no story, number still. Ain't gonna rap for you, baby. I don't do well, and I know you've only known me for a short time. That's history, ain't what it's made out to be. Yeah, yeah. Some people spend their time running away from what's right, and I showed up on a run, and I showed up on a run from you. Yeah, yeah.
Wait for chorus.
You have to leave it. I was going to say, you have to leave it.
My love.
Oi, selector. Pull this one back.
Tune.
Arguably the biggest garage tune ever, in my opinion.
No, I agree.
Big tune.
I absolutely agree.
Everybody knows this song.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody knows this song. Even if you don't know this song, you know this
You
song.
know the song.
You
Like,
know
because
the
I
song.
was like, what's this? And then I heard, I was like, fuck.
I think this has everything a garage song needs.
Yeah.
A sick build-up,
Yep.
impactful drums,
Mm-hmm.
the sweetest vocal that you can sing along to, and just the little dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
dun.
yeah, yeah.
Like that is so key in garage. Like that little melody, especially in like old school garage, is so recognizable. And you know they just smashed that one.
They really did. Put their foot in it. Oh, so good. Why this one, man?
So this one, I love playing it. Like I said, everybody knows it, and it's super easy to mix in. It always bangs, and I've got so many remixes. But this one for me was a really big tune when I was growing up. When I started DJing, it was very easy to mix, like I said. So it was always in my set list every time. There's probably, I don't know, 5 sets I've ever played where this hasn't featured, you know, something like that. And I had a full circle moment this year. So Always Inside did a party at Shoreditch Box Park for Independence Women's Day. So Sydney, the creative director of the brand, was asked to put on an event highlighting girls within our community, as well as our extended family as well.
Nice.
So we had DJs like Beatrice Byron from our collective. We had Sydney on the lineup as well. And then we had 2 other friends of the brands, Janelle Winter and Delilah. So that was really fun. But also we had Lisa Mafia headlining on the night. Not only that, Lisa Mafia brought Kele. So
Mad.
she asked her to play and the DJ ran the tune. She was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And then she was like, okay, you know what, I'll do it. So she came on and sang this song, and I just stood there and said nothing for those 3 minutes.
I can imagine.
I just stood there with my arms crossed, and I just thought, I can't believe it. I looked at my girlfriend, Sydney, I was like, I can't believe it. And I just looked at somebody else who was at Box Park running the thing. I just went, I can't believe it. I was like, that was sick.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell happened? And then luckily we've got photos, we got footage from that, we've got video.
Amazing.
Lisa and Kele were kind enough to stand up and take photos with the girls that were on the event.
Lovely.
You know, we had the girls introduce them as well, which was really nice. And they spent a bit of time afterwards talking to the girls and that kind of stuff. So that was really nice. I went up to both of them and just say, I really appreciated you being here. You know, like I co-run this with Sydney. It was so nice for you to be here. And I was like, and you are a legend in my eyes. Like,
Yeah.
you're one of the greatest. And she was really nice when I met her. Lisa Mafia was also really nice. And I met her a couple of times after that. But just seeing that full circle moment, I've had a lot of full circle moments when I've DJ'd very early on, which I'm very thankful for. And this one is one very special to my heart. Like, I love that song. I play it all the time. And to to have that happen at an event when it wasn't planned was unreal. Yeah.
So unreal. Like, what? A legend.
A legend.
Like,
Not just one.
Not just one. Like,
I can't believe it.
Amazing,
I can't believe it.
man.
Yeah.
That must have been such a sick event. See that, but what?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
sick.
yeah,
We actually did a pop-up during the day as well for Free Soul for Independence Women's Day with the girls from Always Inside. So to have that full day, it was really long.
Yeah.
It was really fun, like, don't get me wrong, but it was a long day. Finished at, I don't know, 5, straight to Box Park. Event started at 6.
Mad.
So it was a busy day.
Yeah.
But for that to happen,
Of
it makes these things all
course.
worth it, you know.
Of course, of course. And like you said, full moment for you, because that's just like an absolute essential in your set.
Exactly.
And to just see that her live and performing that at your event. Yeah.
Also, the thing I
It's
love about
everything.
Grime and Garage dances, events, shows, anything is the guests they bring out. You know, they're
Yeah.
always going to bring out a guest, and it's always a surprise. And I love that feeling. So for it to happen to me at an event that I put on
Trust.
was
Unreal.
unreal.
Yeah.
And it wasn't planned. It was amazing. So I felt it as a fan,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not
yeah.
somebody that was working there.
This is genuinely like.
Genuinely a fan of
Yeah.
her music.
Yeah.
This song in particular, Things We Do for Love as well. Massive tune by herself. You know, she's one of the greatest in garage.
Nah, I could see you just lighting up, man. You just lighting
It's
up.
a big tune.
Nah,
It's a
100%.
big tune.
100%. But talking about legends, you also shared the stage with MCDT. Like,
Yeah,
how
another
was
legend, man.
that?
Oh.
How was that?
Another full circle moment. So I went out with Sydney to Garage Nation. MCD was playing. I tagged him in a story, and he could see I was playing Garage. So we kind of kept in contact afterwards. And then I'm running his tunes all the time. Everybody knows, do we really like it? Is it wicked? Everyone knows that tune. So, you know, I kind of kept in touch with him online, was bigging him up. We kind of went back and forth about trying to get some stuff in, but not really. And then I had our 1-year anniversary, so we did a collaboration with Caterpillar Footwear and Tower London, which is an independent trainer shoe store in Camden, footwear sales. So we did a collaboration with them for our first year anniversary, where we did a product launch for Caterpillar's new footwear autumn winter range, and then brought together DJs from Always Inside to showcase the night, you know, bring a bit of vibe, that kind of stuff. We had 500 RSVPs in a couple weeks, and it was mental. The day before, I sent an invite to MCDT, and he was like, "Yeah, can I come and spit?" I just thought, what? Obviously. And I was like, "Yeah, come through. I'll give you guest list or whatever."
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah. Have you got the track?" I was like, "Yeah, of course, man." He was like, "What do you want me to do then? Just do we really like it?" I was like, "Yeah, if you want, like whatever you want." He was like, "Yeah, we'll do that and we'll run something else after." It was really not planned.
Yeah.
So he got there, and I couldn't believe that he was there. And I was like, "Oh my God, you came." And he was like, "Yeah, I told you I was going to come." So I was like, "Cool." I reverted back to a kid, like, "Oh my God, like."
You're here.
Yeah, literally. But you don't expect people
Of course.
of that.
Yeah.
The thing is, you forget that these are real people. Like,
100.
you big them up in your mind so much, you give them so much power.
100.
But actually, whenever I've met somebody like that, they've been so humble that it brings me back down as well. Like, oh my God, these are just humans. Like, if they're nice to me, just be nice to everybody, you know? Anyway, so I started my set, played into Garage, and then I was like, everybody, I got a special guest. And then it went off. I got video footage. I got photos with him. I spoke to him afterwards. I was like, "Thank you so much for coming." Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Everybody there was like, "How did you pull that off?" And I was just like, "I'm the guy in it. Like, don't worry about me." And then, but actually behind the scenes, I'm like, "Sydney, how the hell did that even happen?" Like, I'm telling my boys, like, "You know, I didn't even plan that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That was yesterday. The plan came yesterday." But I'm getting so many, like I said, so many full circle moments. It's really keeping me here. You know, like, doing what I'm doing, enjoying it, and it's really it's been emphasizing the fact that I should stay here. It's really cemented my view of I really enjoy this. Even if life gets busy or if you work too hard and you ain't got time for this, make time. Like, you can do cool stuff, and these are memories that I'm gonna have, whether I make it, whether or not, in terms of however you see making it. You know, I always try and say people, if you've got a booking, you are successful. Out of all these other people, somebody's asked you to play. So whatever level of success you have, always think back of the memories of
100.
what you've done, and this will be one of them. You know,
Cool
first
memory.
year anniversary,
Yeah.
on in the month that we did it, our first sort of collaboration like that, and it was with somebody called Morgan that I had followed for like the last 10 years in the footwear scene.
Right.
So that was really special as well. So big up Morgan every time, big up Tower, big up Caterpillar for pulling that off. It was just unreal.
What a story, man.
Yeah,
What
full
a
circle
story.
moments.
Trust me. Some full circle moments indeed. Legends. Like just legends. Garage
Actual legends, you know.
Proper.
Actual legends.
Proper.
They're not little guys.
Nah.
These are big people in the scene.
Listen.
Big legends.
Big legends. But wrapping it up and going on to, I know you have an honourable mention, which you're going to mention, and we have to.
Yeah, I
have to play it, man.
I couldn't stick
Nah,
to 5.
you're fine.
I had to do 6.
Listen, when I heard this, I was like, again, I don't know the title, but when I heard the song, I was like, yeah,
You
of
know this
course
one.
I have
Yeah,
to
you
play
know
that,
this
of
one.
course. But yeah, this one, took me back, took me real back. But we have "See You" by Crazy Cousins. Everything and more, man. Let's give this a listen.
Shut up, this is a massive tune.
I see you. Look into, I see you.
This is where I do my little
Yeah.
hosting
Look
intro.
into,
This little breakdown here.
I see you.
Big up everybody locked in, locked on.
Look into,
Put your hands in the air.
Listen, I could listen to
I
this song.
pull this one
Ooh.
up, selector.
Listen-
Oh my days.
God. Tell me.
You see this one? You see this one?
Listen.
I've got this is the
Listen.
story.
This is the story, yeah? Listen.
October 2021, I got booked for a dance. It was on a Wednesday at Lilo.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, fucking hell, Wednesday. Anyway, I got booked off that from the Friday before.
Right.
Big up Taylor Elaine, superstar DJ now. She's gone on to amazing things. But we used to play the same lineups.
Mm-hmm.
And she booked me off an event I did on the Friday before.
Okay.
She literally halfway through, and you can hear it in the recording
Man.
saying, "Are you free next Wednesday? I've
Yeah.
got a booking." I just went, "Yeah, I can't," because I recorded that set. And at that time, I recorded all my sets for like experience. I'd listen back,
Sure.
that kind of stuff. And you can hear her saying it. You can hear it getting gassed. And you can hear all my friends getting gassed in this. I did like a funky type set, yeah. And then, anyway, I got booked, and it's for a clothing brand sort of anniversary party, I think it was, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was at Lalo in West London. It was in sort of that living room. I don't know if you've ever been, but it's like a small room. It's kind of like a living room where
Okay.
it's super cozy, that kind of stuff. They've got decks just behind the sofa.
Nice.
They got nice chairs around. Anyway, it's super cool
Mhm.
in there, yeah. And at this time, these are big DJs that are on there, and I'm closing. And I walked in, and nobody knew me. And my boy played before, and somebody I knew played just before me.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor played and got the crowd hyped, and then kind of lulled off for a bit on the next DJ.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I don't really know what I'm gonna play. Like, this is a tough crowd, I think. And my boy was like, "Nah, you got it."
Yeah.
And then the DJ on before me was like, "What are you looking to play? Like, what BPM are you gonna start?" And I was like, "I'm thinking like 130, which
Mhm.
is sort of like garage tempo, that kind of stuff." He was like, "Oh, wow, I'm well slow at the minute. I'm only 110." He was like, "How are you gonna do that?" I was like, "I'm just gonna cut it."
Mm.
He was like, "What do you mean cut it?" He was like, "You're not gonna blend in?" And I was like, "No, I'm just gonna cut it." So I cut it, and my
Yep.
boy was like, show them. So this was the moment I was ready. This was my third song. The first one was Party Hard by Delilah.
Nice.
The second one was Frontline.
Nice.
Two big, funky
Mhm.
anthems. This was the third one, and I blended it in. At this point,
Yeah.
I had everyone. I had them. I had them bubbling. And I had so many people like grabbing me, like trying to wheel it up, that kind of stuff. And everyone was saying, I forgot about this song. Because you do. It's not on Spotify. It's not on SoundCloud. It's only on YouTube, right? So everyone forgot about this song. But this was a personal favourite of mine from Crazy Cousins. Crazy Cousins is my favourite producer of all time. So recognisable. He's the first one that I ever recognise his work in other songs, you know. It's not just the Crazy Cousins. It's the sounds that he uses so synonymous with him that I really took notice before I started DJing anyway. And his tracks are somebody that I started mixing with very early on.
Right.
But anyway, I tore that party up. Absolutely tore it up. I didn't get recording. You just had to be there. But
yeah.
I was really nervous putting these clips online. Really nervous because at that time I'd maybe done 3 sets, so I hadn't really pushed music out. Maybe this was my third, so I hadn't pushed music out that much. People knew I DJ'd, but I didn't really publicise it like that.
Right,
So I wasn't ready. I did this dance. I was like, no, I have to push it. So I put it online, 4 o'clock at work, I remember. And then in 2 hours before I left, it just blew up. And I don't mean like went viral, but for me it went viral in the sense that I gained like 500 followers from this one thing. And the amount of love I got off that, but the amount of bookings I got off that was unreal. And that was a moment I was like, you know what? I got it. Like the amount of people that messaged me was like, yo, you're sick. Like I've got this dance coming up, do you want to play, whatever. And the respect I got when I walked out of that room versus when I came in and nobody knew me, I felt like the guy. Like that's the feeling you live for as a DJ.
Yeah.
Like the respect you have from when you do what you do, your craft. You spend hours honing it, you come, you do a good set. And I just played funky and garage the whole time. I didn't think they were going to be receptive to it, but I just carried on.
Yeah.
Every couple tunes wheeled up every time. I've got a massive tune. I've got a remix of Dude, which I'm actually going to gatekeep. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't let it go. It's by a famous garage producer.
Yeah.
I hate when people gatekeep, but I'm going to be a hypocrite here and just hold it because I've got a signature blend that everybody knows me for. That is the tune that blew up, and I did it after. I mixed it in after this song, but that moment in time, like people know me for that blend and that mix. So people even still come up to me 2 years after, talking about that moment. I was like, oh, I didn't know you was there. But it's so nice because people I met in the dance now, I'm still friends with. So a lot of people that we know met each other at that one dance, which is super nice. To be able to continue that relationship with them afterwards, you know. It's not just a one party and then you're done. You saw them around, or that's the first party that they were introduced to me, or I was introduced to them, or the people that
and they
were
followed
playing.
you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you follow them. You understand what they're doing. They're a
Yeah,
presenter. I met a presenter there. She's doing sick things now. I've met a photographer there who now become my best friend, Raf. You know, you meet these people here, and people take photos of you, for example, and you have no idea who you are, and then years later you're like, did you take that? They're like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my days, because you don't see everybody, you don't recognize everybody when you're there, you don't remember everybody, but when I'm looking back at videos, I can spot these people there. So it's a crazy experience. And I actually had a full circle moment with Crazy Cousins as well, because on my first launch event he headlined. I had the opportunity to work with him, and I jumped at it, and I met him, and he's the nicest guy. I even brought a funky, I Love Funky Rinse FM vinyl that I got, I won at a Christmas raffle from Rinse FM. It was like an Instagram thing. You know, it's like tag 2 friends. You never win anything. I actually won, so I was gassed. So I took it, and I took a pen. I was like, bro, I know this is really cheesy, but you are my favourite producer. Do you mind signing this? He was like, absolutely. I gave him some Always Inside t-shirts. He put it on for the set, took photos in it for promo, that kind of stuff. And he was just the nicest guy. And my experience meeting somebody I think is such a celebrity was really nice. Sometimes they can be rude, and they always say don't meet your heroes, but he is somebody in the scene that I think is the nicest guy, and I would love to work with him more. We kept in touch, you know, we got some stuff coming. But that one memory is really precious to me. I'm really grateful for that experience. You know, like
Yeah.
imagine being able to meet somebody that you grew up listening to music to, but they are now promoting your stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like having one of your favorite artists on this
Trust.
podcast. You know, being
Everything.
exactly
Yeah.
like the opportunity to interview them would be the same
Trust
situation.
me. Trust me.
I could play alongside him. I stood there next to him whilst he was mixing. You know,
Yeah, man.
it was amazing.
Scotty, man, what a moment, what a story
And
to
it was
have,
unreal.
like,
Yeah, unreal. Honestly,
like you said, it literally just was like, just changed everything, innit?
that is my honestly like one of my top 3 happiest moments in my whole life.
Don't
Like,
blame you, man.
and I say it all the time. Like
yeah.
how happy I felt there. I don't think I've reached that in DJing since. It's come close, but
Mhm.
I think that's because it was so pure of excitement
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
unexpected energy and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And the outcome from it, the bookings, I've still get bookings off that one clip. Which people do, you get anyone can
sick,
bang off
man.
a 20-second
Yeah,
clip
yeah.
now, but back 2-3 years ago, that was kind of unheard of.
It was.
And I love it for me.
Mhm.
Like I love having that memory, and I still smile at it, and I still get so gassed at it, and I jump around when I see myself do the mixing and that kind of stuff. Man, it's sick. It's so good.
I love this, man.
When this pod comes out, I'm gonna share it again so all of you lot can see it. See how gassed I was.
listen.
You can see how nervous I am, sweating. And in one of the slides, I make a mistake, and I look at my friend, and he just goes, "Oh, don't worry about it." So then I carry on. You wouldn't even know it's a mistake, but
yeah,
you see me
yeah.
look up from the decks, and I'm like, I shouldn't have played that yet because I was chopping something in.
Right. But, like,
But
people
no,
don't notice, man. Like,
you
you're just
know,
enjoying the vibes, innit?
Like I said, it was organic feeling that,
Lovely.
in that moment, and anything like that is unreal.
Scotty. What a time,
So
man.
gassed.
What a time.
You know, I miss it, you know. Like I said, you go back to the innocence of just liking something and doing it. You know? It was unreal.
Trust me. And I love the fact that you've had, and even though, like I said, even though you feel like you're not like made it, the fact that you've been able to interact with your legends, like the people that you really look up to, and like you said, have him promoting your stuff, like that's big, man.
Crazy,
You
yeah.
coming to your events,
Yeah, exactly.
like even though maybe you're not where you are, but the things that you've done, and for those people
I'm
to
very
come, like,
thankful and very
listen,
grateful
that's
of the
amazing,
opportunities
man.
I've had.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I know sometimes you don't give flowers to people, but I try and give flowers to people that have brought me on early on,
Yeah.
because I know I wouldn't have got bookings at the beginning because I knew people that were already DJing, so I know if I didn't, I wouldn't have got them bookings, and I know it's super hard for people to come on. That's why I put events on for
Yeah.
new DJs. You know, I know how thankful I was, but I also know that it was my hard work and my ability to network to get me in places after I've got my foot in the door. And that one event, all the prep that went into that, and just the excitement and the energy I got from that. If I ever experience a lull, I always think back to that time and get energized and get inspired and just live for that moment.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you live for that moment as a DJ that the crowd just pops, and then you just know when to wheel it and stuff like that, you know. And then the energy's there, and sometimes like not recording it is the best thing. Like just being in the moment, not no pressure.
Yeah,
It just happened to be that somebody recorded the mix and it went off. But I kind of like not having that pressure of having to record and stuff, and just living in that moment. You make a mistake, you move on to the next set. You know, you make even the next mix. If you mix in and you make a mistake and you think it's all over, you mix another song and people have forgotten. They're already dancing to the next song, you know.
And listen, more time as people that are dancing and enjoying us, like, we don't know.
No, that's what I say to new DJs. Like, they don't know. You just put on a banger, they sing.
There we go. There we go. But Scotty, man, what a journey. What an absolute journey.
Yeah.
I've just thoroughly been enjoying this, man. But I guess, like, just to wrap it up for the last couple questions, man, how do you continue to stay motivated? I know you say that you look back on that video, but what are your other kind of techniques or your other things that you pull for to continue that motivation and continue to do the great work, man?
Yeah. Recently, it's been taking time away, like just living life, because DJing is very antisocial hours. You're doing it late. You might DJ on a Friday after work. You sleep in Saturday. You get up late. You eat rubbish. You then go out to another set or another nightclub to event. Or networking thing afterwards, and then you're out all night, and then you've wasted the whole weekend. I'm just trying to take a step back, be a bit healthier in lifestyle, and refocus what I want. You know, just DJing in general is not what I want now. I want a specific lane to tailor my energy to. So I just want to be more focused and more decisive with my time, and put my time in actual DJing, my DJing career in a certain lane, but also have enough time for Always Inside. You know,
Sure.
I like the time difference it gives me. You know, like spending time on one, then going back to another.
Yeah.
Gives me a break from both. I've actually had more bookings this year than I ever have, so I spent more
Congrats,
time.
man.
I appreciate it. I've spent more time this year on myself, like teeing that kind of stuff up. But then Always Inside always comes with me.
Yeah.
You know, it always comes with me, and wherever I go, the brand will go. So to grow myself as a DJ, I want to become synonymous with that sort of London dance scene
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and just be known for mashing up the dance. And then Always Inside for champion new DJs, giving back to our active community, putting people onto spots they didn't think they'd be able to get, you know, that kind of stuff. So working with brands to be able to put on new DJs, and yeah, just to be that guy that gives back, you know.
Love
Yeah,
that. I
it just fills me
absolutely
with
love
so
that.
much like happiness when I can do that, and I feel really good about it
Yeah,
when I'm
yeah.
doing it. I know it's a good thing,
No,
even though
definitely.
sometimes it feels too long and it's not worth it if I've got them thoughts. Like, you
Mm.
know what, like it actually matters to these 4 people that are here right now DJing,
Exactly.
and that's the most important thing, you know.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You have been dropping gems, advice, tips, tricks throughout this episode, but can you summarize that one thing that you want people to take away from this episode, man?
Be yourself, man.
Yeah.
Be yourself, and just be organic with your
Mm.
intentions, and just have fun.
I
you know.
absolutely love that.
Have fun.
I love that. I love that. Scotty, I've really thoroughly enjoyed this, man. We've been raving. We've been enjoying. I just love the story. I've just been engulfed.
That's what it's about.
You
It's raining outside, but it's sunshine in here right now. Sunshine music is what I'm all
listen.
about.
I love it. I absolutely love it. But we got a close out for your honourable mention. But Scotty, thanks so much for coming here.
No, I
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
you.
man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time.
Of course.
I've really enjoyed it.
No, as have I.
It's so good
as
to
have
jump on
I.
here, man. It's so good just to chat about everything that you do.
Trust me. No, I
Cool.
appreciate
But big up
it.
yourself, man.
And big up yourself as well, man. Always inside. I love it. I
Always.
love it. I love it. But let's close out with your honourable mention. I'll be sure to drop your bits below. All the activities and the projects that you're doing, I'll be sure to link that
Appreciate it.
down below. And please go check out Always Inside. Check out all the work that Scotty's doing, man. Follow him. Check out his next event. Be there, man.
Come
You know
on.
that his vibes. Are you not seeing him? Man,
See
was
inside.
skanking.
Yeah.
Listen.
Always.
Always.
Outside, but always inside.
Love
You get me?
that. Love that. Let's close out with your last song, man. Seasons by Lil Silva. Stop it.
Hey, selector, pull this one.
Yay. Oh, Scotty, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Appreciate it.
The